In January of 2015, I had the unique opportunity of meeting a snowy owl in North Carolina. Normally, snowy owls are only found in the far north, but due to unusual conditions, this particular owl found his way into the southeast. I met with local wildlife rehabilitator Carlton Burke, who told me all about this special bird.
Okay, well, Tundra's snowy owl, I got to know Tundra about a little bit over a year ago. It was December of 2013. Tundra was flying in the wild, but this was a snowy owl, one of several that had been spotted in the southern United States, had flown probably some 3,000 or 4,000 miles from north of where it was probably born, somewhere on the tundra, maybe in the Quebec area, we don't know for sure. But it was part of an outbreak of snowy owls that had gone south in the winter of December 2013 and also into the early winter of 2014. And we normally don't see snowy owls this far south, but Tundra was spotted in farmland country not too far from where I lived. I got to see this bird in the wild, as many other people did, but I was a little suspicious something might be wrong with Tundra because I saw that it had a hard landing when I saw it flying and landing in a pasture. And sure enough, the next day I got a call that this bird was on the ground, unable to fly, and being a wildlife rehabilitator on the list for birds of prey, I was the nearest one I was called. And me and my wife went down and we rescued this bird a little bit after dark. The bird could not fly anymore. It had become very weak and emaciated. We got it to the vet clinic the next day with the veterinarian I worked with. We found out it had an elevated white blood cell count, but no injuries, just dehydrated and malnourished. So spent a couple months on medications, getting this bird healthy again, putting weight back on it, but then it developed a strange circulatory issue. Could have been something that happened with circulation to the toes based on the medicines it was on, but basically it got avian necrosis, which meant it lost circulation to some of its toes, and the subsequent problem was that it had to have 2 toes amputated, and the toes contain the talons, the claws that they use to capture their prey with. So with the loss of those talons, this bird, being an immature bird, did not have many hunting skills and was not a good candidate for release back into the wild. So Tundra was not released, but is held as an education bird that we use in captivity now to teach others about birds of prey in the wild and the problems that they face. But one of the more unique birds I've gotten a chance to work with, because the snowy owl is not a normal bird that we see in this part of the country very often. Okay. Well, an irruption is a term that we use to talk about birds when they fly south in the winter, birds that are normally in the northern areas of the United States. So typically we use it in relation to finches, things like crossbills, pine siskins, grosbeak, some of these members of the finch family. But any northern bird that turns up south in the wintertime in large numbers could be termed an irruption. And there was an eruption, evidently, in the winter of 2013, 2014 of snowy owls, because the snowy owls' chicks, there was an unprecedented number of them surviving up in the tundra areas where snowy owls nest, unprecedented amount of food available to the young birds. So instead of having maybe 1 or 2 birds fledged from a nest, all the baby birds survived with plenty of food to feed on. And that meant a lot of immature birds heading south in the winter, because even though we don't have very many snowy owls that go south out of Canada or northeastern United States, a few do each winter season, but it's usually the immature birds. But there were so many immature birds that survived that we had an unprecedented number of them coming south, maybe what you'd want to call an eruption. And Tundra was evidently a member of that group, and being an immature bird.